A first listen to Fortunate Son by Creedence Clearwater Revival. So this track and band have been suggested to me many times. This is of course Creedence Clearwater Revival. Now this band consists of John and Tom Fogerty, the Fogerty brothers, Stu Cook and Doug Clifford. Now this band has a sort of blend of blues, southern and country rock music, and a crazy fact about this band is that they released 3 albums in 1969, including Willie and the Poor Boys, which is the album that this track comes off of. Now, this is perhaps their greatest and most popular track. It's a very famous song. I've heard snippets of this song in many movies. It's famously a song about the Vietnam War. It's an anti-war song. However, I feel as if the actual meaning of the song has been diluted a little bit, but maybe we can get into that during the actual reaction. So here's the reaction. Okay, here we go. With the reaction, I have the lyrics up to help me follow along also. Those have to be some of the most famous opening sort of guitar notes for a track ever. I'm gonna back this thing up, but to me, that sound right there is like the heart of America. You know what I mean? Like Americana, that sound. If that is a phrase that you can put to music, it sounds exactly like that. Maybe that's just because I've been sort of fed the track through media and like seeing it behind like red, white, and blue, sort of American flags and military movies. But that's what I feel when I hear those notes, man. That's as American as you can get. Let's back this up to the beginning again. Great bass line. Great little fill.
Some folks are born made to wave the flag.
Wow.
Ooh, they're red, white, and blue. And when the band plays "Hail to the Chief," ooh, they point the cannon at you. Lord, it ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no senator, son. It ain't me. It ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No.
What a awesome first verse, man. Incredible first verse. Some folks are born to wave the flag, hold their red, white, and blue. He seems to be sort of poking fun at the notion of sort of being American. At least that's what I get from this thing, in terms of sort of buying into whatever they are being fed, essentially. This is that notion of red. You know, some folks are born to wave the flag, red, white, and blue. And when the band plays "Hail to the Chief," oh, they point their cannon at you. Interesting. Now, what I kind of took away from it, now, I don't know if this is necessarily what it means, and other people will always have their sort of takes on this thing. When he says "Hail to the Chief," right, is he talking about an American Indian thing here? And when the band plays Hail to the Chief," which is, of course, the idea of like support to the Native Americans, maybe, they're pointing the cannon at you, meaning like, people won't be happy at the fact that you're not being patriotic, is perhaps what he means by this thing. And then, of course, you have the very famous chorus here. It ain't me, I ain't no senator's son. I think he's referring to the draft here, isn't he? He ain't me, I ain't no fortunate one. So there goes the actual title of this thing, Fortunate Son. So again, this thing was created in 69, which is sort of at the height of Vietnam tensions, and sort of public opinion about the war is really starting to change into a much more negative one. People are starting to understand that this war that has been created by people who are not fighting this thing was sort of selling lies, essentially. And it's not their sons who are in there fighting. It's regular people who would have been fighting in the streets, not in the streets, fighting in the jungles of Vietnam. Powerful, incredibly powerful chorus. It's back to
No
say.
fortune in one, no. Some folks are born silver spoon in hand.
What a voice.
Now don't they help themselves, dog? But when the tax man comes to the door, now the house look like a rummage sale, yes. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no millionaire son, no, no. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one, no.
Wow, what a great energy this song has. Incredibly intense. I mean, the guy's voice, the main singer, I think he's one of the Fogerty brothers. Brilliant voice, very powerful. He cuts through into the track. He's also got a certain tone to it that sounds like he's really like letting go, man. Like his anger can really be heard in this one. Another brilliant voice. Some folks are born with silver spoon in hand, meaning that they're born rich. Don't they help themselves? But when the taxman comes to the door, Lord, the house looking like a rummage sale. Like, yeah, that is, I think, the feeling of many during that time, right? This was sort of the rise of the hippie movement as well, where young people were sort of rebelling against all the regular notions that they were being fed by the media and people before them. What an interesting time. The fact that this tumultuous period of American history created so much incredible art, particularly when it comes to music. There were a lot of great movies as well at that time, around the turn of the late 60s to 70s. That might have been the best time ever in music, to be honest. You had the arrival of all the Brits with Zeppelins and the Stones, and you had all this great music also coming out of America. It almost seems as if like turmoil and like sort of hardships, or like what would be the word, unpredictable futures creates the best sort of breeding ground for artistic expression. I would say so for sure. Maybe struggle and art are sort of innately linked. Let's keep this going.
Yeah, some folks in heaven, star-spangled eyes. Ooh, they send you down to war. And when you ask them, how much should we give? Ooh, the only answer, more, yo. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no military son. It ain't me,
Wow.
it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate one. No. It ain't me, it ain't me. I ain't no fortunate son.
Okay. Wow. Incredible song, man. Really love that song. I mean, I was always going to be curious just because of the content. Hearing the fact that it's a anti-war song already piqued my interest, but it absolutely delivered. There's a couple things to speak about. I like the fact that in the end there, he switched up this sort of thing that he was doing each time, where he would use that section to sort of go over what he's just spoken about. You know, this one was about wealthy people. This one was about senators. But this time he says, I ain't no military son, meaning that it ain't me changed. The meaning changed this time into him saying he's actually not going to be in the military. It's not me. I ain't no fortunate one. Okay, so let's speak about sort of the meaning of this track sort of changing over time. It's quite interesting. This is such a clearly anti-war song, yet it's been sort of changed into this track that they play when they want to rile up like people into like pro-America kind of attitudes, which is super interesting that they chose this track. It's so clearly anti-war. I wonder if other songs have been sort of made into this. I know there's a Bruce Springsteen song that has had a similar thing. Let's look up the name of that. Yeah, I think that's it. So I've just looked it up. It's called Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. If I'm not wrong, I've heard that a similar thing has been sort of done to Bruce's track, where the meaning of it has kind of been stolen away from him. I don't know about other people my age, but I feel as if this song is now kind of used as a thing to like rile up the troops. You know, they play this in sort of montages with like explosions and stuff going on, when this is clearly a track saying how it's regular people who die and not the people who start these wars and their children. Very, very strong anti-war message in this one. Really brilliant track. There's so many great things going on. Great guitar playing, a fantastic bass line, which might be missed, and machine gun like drums. Very intense, very powerful, and a fantastic lead singer. All in all, a brilliant track, man. Thumbs up.